Productions as we bring you match number 2 of the day. The 2-0-1 Humber Hawks will take on the 1-2-1 St. Clair Saints in OCAA men's soccer action. In the first match, we saw the St. Clair Saints, an exciting match, defeat the Humber Hawks 2-1. Goals by Kinsley Clough and a late one by Lapos in the 85th minute to win it for the Saints. My name is Dan Dominguez, and I, along with the Weed Digital crew, have all the action from the pitch at Acumen Stadium on the beautiful campus of St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario on a hot day, the last full day of summer here in southwestern Ontario. The Saints have a tough task ahead of them today. They'll face the Humber Hawks, ranked number 4 provincially and number 7 nationally, coming off a silver medal in OCAA play last year. And we'll get right to the lineups. There's the keeper, Sine, Lack, Pinto, Noel, Fossey, Fior, Ball, Kay, Lezcano, Alvarado, and Riviere. And there's a look at the starting lineup, the huddle for the Saints. And there's our lineup. Malik is in between the pipes for the Saints. Patrick Mayo, Davia, Susko, Sevioglin, Silva, Mastriani, Galtieri, Rahi, Boardraj, and Thomas Saba, the Leamington product. This part of the starting 11 for the Saints. So only a one-game weekend for the Saints. Humber had a match in the middle of the week. On Wednesday, they defeated Conestoga 2-0 on goals from Pinto and Riviere. There's interim head coach Steve Vanini, his first year with the men's squad. And then we just saw him with the win, his 7th year coaching the women. That Conestoga was a rematch of the gold medal match in 2023 where Humber took the silver medal in the OCs last year. Sherbertsov had a shutout midweek. So far this season, they've beaten Niagara 2-1. They tied Sheridan at 2 and defeated that Conestoga 2-0. The Saints, on the other hand, they lost their opener to Redeemer 3-1. They tied Mohawk 2-2 on a late goal. They lost in Redeemer, up at Redeemer 2-0. And they defeated Niagara 2-1 for their first win of the season. 1-2-1. They've scored 5 and given up 8. In the 3 games, Humber has scored 6 goals and only given up 3. The Saints coming off a successful year last year, winning the bronze medal here at the national tournament, the CCAC national title. They took home bronze, but a lot of that team is gone. Only Silva is back, who has actually scored a goal from that season last year. There's a handful of players back, but most of the goal scorers of that team have moved on. We're getting ready for action. Humber's going to have it. They're in the all blues, going from left to right, and your Saints are in all white. And match number 2, and OCAA men's soccer action. So back in their own end, number 6 right in front of us, Carmine Fior, 6'2" out of Woodbridge. They're slowly bringing it up, now working their way down the far side. Turnover. Saints have it, middle of the field. 2 defenders come. Player goes down. They play on. And you see Sevioglin pressuring. So a little turnover, no damage. In the first minute, they go back to the keeper. Daniel Sine. Tehran Iran, 6'4" keeper. He hasn't let up a goal this year. They've had 3 different keepers that have played this season. The Hawks have it far side, and they try and send a ball in. Deflected a few times, and that's Saba with the bandana. I don't know if that's a bandana or just maybe his head's wrapped. It looks like it's more of a wrap, so he must have taken a hit at some point. And that ball trickles past the goal line. That's going to be a goal kick. So that's Malik, the keeper for the Saints today. He's 6 foot out of Windsor. Sandwich Secondary grad. Sandwich Secondary celebrating their 55th high school reunion anniversary of for Malik. 4 shots so far for the Saints, for the Humber, only 1 for the Saints, as we have a substitution on the far side. Bahardwaj going off for the Saints. In the 17th minute, we got a sub. It's going to be a goal kick for Malik. And that was 20 coming on Alex Artico, 6'1" out of Windsor, Brennan High School, 4th-year player. Little chip pass up to Oglin. Oglin handles. He's got 2 defenders around him. Nice footwork there by Artico, who just came on the field. Rahi sends it back to the defender, and that's Susko going to try the far side now as Mayhew rotates the ball far side. A little left footer to Saba. He has to retreat it right back to Mayhew, and they're going to regroup here with the keeper. So Humber putting some pressure on the back line of the St. Clair Saints. No goals yet. Noel has it back middle. And they go far side. That was Facey on the far side. And the Saints are going to retreat all the way back to Malik. Once again, we didn't see a lot of that in the women's matchup that we showed you earlier here on We Digital, with the men trying to use that keeper as a safety valve on the back line. Turnover midfield. Saba slides in nicely to stop that rush, but turned right over again. Mayhew's going to hustle back for it. Saba. That's Justin Susko. And they got a run. First good chance, that's Artico. He's done really well coming off the bench so far in this one. He hasn't been on for a lot of minutes, but he's been a factor so far in the limited action. Quick throw in by the Saints. Sevi Oglin looking for a lane. Saba's got no one around them. And the Saints will regroup right to the logo again. Saba, kind of the quarterback of this team. You'll see him kind of setting up the plays and sending the direction of the ball of where they want to go. Nice little step around, but he's got nowhere to go. He gives it back to Saba. This time they want to go far side Susko. He's got Rahi down to the left. He's trying to draw the defender in and goes over to Saba. Saba to Artico. And there's Rahi. He called for it earlier, but he turns the ball right over. Last man in. And that ball's just tricking. That looks like it goes past the line before the big hit. So that looks like it's going to be a throw-in for the Saints, and it is. So it's going to be a throw-in for St. Clair. Susko's looking for a lane. He's got Oglin in front of him. A little bit of trouble on the throw-in. Artico has trouble with it and turns it over, and Humber comes away. Looking for a spot, just passes it behind the streaking Humber player. That was Pinto. Pinto's got a goal this year for Humber. They still have control. Right boot goes short side past the keeper, and that's going to be a goal kick. So a couple of little miscues there for the Saints. No harm. We're in the 21st minute, 0-0. Remember, we should have that water break, I would assume, again in about halfway through the first half. Saints come away with it. So Humber has it in the 22nd minute. 5 shots for Humber so far, 1 for the Saints. Goalies haven't had to make a save yet. We're still tied at 0, and we'll probably see that water break whistle coming up pretty soon. That's going to be a throw-in on the near side. Big throw-in towards Oglin. Rahi comes away with it. Rahi and Artico, but they both kind of get in each other's way and turn the ball over. That ball's in. Jacob Ball defended nicely from the Saints, last man on defense. Another quick turnover on the outlet. So Humber really controlling the pace of play here. Jacob Ball one-on-one. Little inside pass. Little step around. Defender takes the ball away. The Humber player did go down, but no damage. Saba has it. Looking for a place to get away, and there's Sevi Oglin. He's going to look to sprint by everybody. Nice slide tackle there. Carmine Fior stopping the St. Clair rush. Big left boot. That's going to pass the line and almost near the grandstands. Substitution coming on the far side. And that looks like Alex Artico, the 6'1" midfielder, going off. He played well in his limited minutes in this first half. The Saints substitute is on. We're getting ready to throw this one back in. There's your whistle. Throw in on the far side. Humber comes across it. Crossing pass. Defended nice by Sesko. It's still up there. Sesko heads it away. Top of the box. A couple of jersey grabs both ways. And that ball goes past the goal line. And that's going to be a corner kick for the Hawks. So they're lining up the left boot in the far corner. There it is. Up and over almost everyone, but on the far side, Pinto's there. Pinto tries to chip it towards the net, and that goes past the goal line for a goal kick for Malik. It looks like that's going to be our water break now. So we're 24 minutes and 9 seconds done of this first half. I'm going to run down the standings for the men's in the OCAA West Division. Fanshawe is at the top of the heap. They're 3-0-0, 9 points. They haven't given up a goal yet this season. Humber is 2-0-1 at second place with 7 points. Redeemer has, Conestoga and Niagara tied yesterday, so they're also at 7 points, tying Humber for second. In fifth place is Redeemer, 2-1. They won their last matchup. They're at 6 points. And then Sheridan, Mohawk, and St. Clair are all at 4 points. They'll all have a win and a tie. And then at the bottom of the ladder, we have the Lambton Lions. They're 0-3. They've only given up 4 goals, but they've dropped 3 matchups. So they're 0-3 this season at the bottom of the ladder. Looks like the referee's blowing the whistle, and we're going to get back into action here for the second half of the first half after the water break. Quite a bit of heat and humidity out here. We're well over 30 degrees. First game, it was 31 humidex. I'm sure it's even up a couple degrees since then. Add another 5 degrees on the artificial surface here at Acumen Stadium. So just a safety issue, giving these players a water break in the middle of each half. Malik in net for the Saints. He has a 1.5 goals against average this year. And Daniel Sine, he's from Tehran, Iran. He's yet to give up a goal. He's one of the 3 keepers Humber has used this season. Saints have had quite a few shots in their 4 games, 67 shots In Humber's 3 games, they only have 33 shots. Saves are about even. Humber has a few more yellows. They have 10 yellows as opposed to St. Clair's 7. We're looking to get back into action here. Malik looking to get the go-ahead from the referee at midfield to put this ball back into play. So we're 0-0. We've just started the 25th minute of play. Humber Hawks in town taking on the St. Clair Saints. Dan Dominguez here with you at this one, along with the We Digital crew. Busy slate of games here at Acumen Stadium. We had the women's soccer matchup where the St. Clair Saints women's team were victorious 2-1 on a late goal by Sierra Lapos. And then later on tonight, we have big matchup, OFC football, the rivalry game, as the London Beefeaters come to town for a 7 o'clock matchup against the undefeated, undisputed champs of the OFC, the St. Clair Saints. And the winner of that OFC year this year will get to host the Canadian Bowl. So there's a chance that Saints will get to host that Canadian Bowl here in November if they can run the table. So that ball's cleared all the way back to midfield. Facey has it, sends it to Noel in the middle. Noel just kind of boots it forward. He's got a man there. He got the right boot. Offside flag is up. So a nice little chip by Noel to go right down the middle to send their man in for a run. But in ahead of the play to create the offside. So Saints have it, far side. That's Susko. A little give and go action. Saints keep possession. And this time they're going to try near side. A little bit more room on the near side. Rahi has it. They go back to the keeper, but they got to get rid of it quick. There was a man coming, and that sails over everyone almost off the front of the grandstands. That's going to be a throw-in for the Hawks. So you're seeing a lot of pressure by the forwards of Humber to try and create a mistake from that back line for St. Clair. Again, these Humber Hawks are ranked 4th in the Ontario OCAA and 7th nationally. They were silver medal winners in the 2023 OCAA tournament. But the Saints had themselves a tournament at Nationals hosted here right at St. Clair College. They came away with the bronze medal at the national championships. In Mike Berislawski's final game as head coach after over 30 years with the club. The Hawks have it. And they're going to go all the way back to midfield. Noel looks to regroup. Trying that middle again. Looks like Humber's been trying to go right up the gut here against the Saints. This time he gets chipped far side, past everybody. That's going to be a goal kick for Malik. So with this club, not a lot of offensive firepower for the Saints club this year. They lost a lot of scorers from last year's team, so he preaches defense, low-scoring games and defense. They'll try and get their goals off some mistakes from the other team. They've only scored 5 goals in 4 games. They've given up 8. And the most was 3 against Redeemer in the opening matchup. But they've given up 2, 2, and 1 in the last 3. So they've been able to keep the goals somewhat to a minimum. Saints player goes down. There's the foul called. But they just got to find a way to put the ball in the back of the net. Saints in all white going right to left. Mayu has it. He's going to try near side. Over the Rahi. There's Sevi Oglin. Oglin's off to a good start. He's got a goal this season. Silva leads the team in goals with 2. Oh, and the player goes down on the far side. He couldn't put the brakes on. Paolo Davia, St. Joe's grad in his 3rd year. So the ball quickly back in play for Humber. Middle of the field's Noel. On the far side, the Hawks have it. Turnover. Saints trying to get past, but 3-4 blue shirts. Player goes down. That is Silva. No foul called. Power buttons there. So we're almost at a half an hour played, and there is a yellow card. That looks like it was number 7, Sesko, receiving the yellow. So Justin Sesko. After the hard tackle. That's Sesko's second yellow of the year. And there's Saba pleading his teammate's case to the head referee. So Humber will have it just past midfield. Again, we're now exactly at a half an hour played. We have an hour still left to go in this one. Still a lot of time. Couple of goose eggs on the board, no score. 5 shots so far for Humber, only 1 for the Saints. They haven't put on much pressure in this matchup. Noel's going to try the near side. That's Fior. Jacob Ball right at the edge of the box, but he's offside. The flag is up. That's a couple times we've seen Humber offside, 2 or 3 now, I believe, in the first 30 minutes. Left boot right down the edge of the sideline, but that sails out, and that's going to be a throw-in for Humber. Humber tries to get that throw in a little bit further, but the referee kind of puts them back closer to midfield. Matthew Lack throws it in, and Noel goes far side. Little turnover. The Saints can't do anything with it. Possession game's really been in Humber's favor in this matchup. They've had the ball in their foot way more than St. Clair has. Just able to keep it inside the box. Malik chips it out to his defender. And there's number 7, Sesko, with the ball. He's just received that yellow, so he'll have to be careful for this one. Can't afford to get that second one against his strong Humber team. Turnover. But the Saints recover. Saba looks for some space. Big boot, far side. Saints look to come away with it. Silva's there. Silva has it on the far side, one-on-one, trying to get around. Lot of pushing and shoving there. They play on. It goes to the keeper, and the keeper is able to smother. Really nice effort by Silva on that one. Silva's a 5'8" from Sao Paulo in his second year. Saints have control of midfield. Have to be careful with the forward coming back to help. And that gets tooted well into the parking lot towards the Humber team bus. And that'll be a throw-in for Humber, and they go back to their own side. So not a lot of scoring opportunities. No saves made by either keeper so far. Humber's put on a little bit more pressure than St. Clair has. But Coach Vanini stressing defense. Limit their opportunities and try and capitalize on mistakes. Saba comes away. They got a little bit of room on the near side. Rahi. And there's Sevi Oglin. He's got Rahi with him. They kind of run out of clean space, but here's a nice ball on the far side. The flag is up. Mastriani tried to sneak by everyone. He gets ahead of everyone. The 5'9" midfielder from Holy Names. and Humber will take over possession. We're in the 34th minute of the first half. We're still tied 0-0. Big boot over everyone. Saints rushing back. They're going to head it right back to the keeper. As Sesko hustles back and gets the ball back to Malik. And Malik will look to boot. A little bit more breeze in this second matchup than we saw in the first, but still not really a factor. That gets returned quickly. The ball still hasn't touched the ground. It finally bounces once off the turf. Saints player goes down. They do call a foul, so the Saints will have it just past midfield. Quickly put in by Saba. They got a run on the far side. Is that Silva, I believe, but Silva can't handle it. It just gets off his toe a little bit too far, and it'll be a throw-in in the corner for the Saints. Davia looking to throw. Looks like he's going to pass it off now. Nico Galtieri. Galtieri is 5'10" out of Kingsville. Another Cardinal Carter. They have three or four Cardinal Carter players on this team. 4 on my count. Big throw in into the middle of the box. Couple of heads hit it. Susko's one of them. Oglin to Rahi. Left boot towards the middle, headed away. And that's going to go across the sideline for a throw-in. So Rahi and Oglin trying to work on this near side. Rahi comes away with it. Sorry, that's Oglin. Oglin gets tripped up. Saints still have it. Big boot that sails high over everything. And 2 hops the fence. A little too excited on that one, and that gets booted. Mastriani got all of that one. Nowhere near the net. Power button. Ball on the far side, headed away nicely by the Saints defender. Susko pushes it far side. Saints looking for room. Saba has it in the middle of the field. Turnover. And the Hawks come away with it. Oh, big hit on the far side. Kind of off balance with that left boot. A little bit of contact sent him flying. So they have it back towards the net. And Noel sends it to the far side. Humber slowly brings it towards midfield. And Humber elects to regroup. And now Noel he's their quarterback. You see him with the ball in his foot a lot. Nice centering ball. Offside flag is up. Jacob Ball can't believe it. A couple of Humber players, hands on head, not liking that call. But you saw the St. Clair bench with their arms up in the air, signaling the offside as well. Gianni Ferry, first year. Massimo Pollard, one of the stars from last year's team, now putting on his coaching whistle this year. And Josh Savoni, part of Coach Vanini's assistant coaches. There's Rahi just in the box, looking for a spot. Goes hard at the keeper. The keeper is able to stay in front of it and knock it past the line. The first big opportunity, and actually the first save of the game, made by the keeper. That's Daniel Sine, 6'4" goalie out of Tehran, Iran. Nice curling ball from Oglin. Couldn't find a head. Oh, there's a whistle. A couple of players down. So we'll regroup after that as the Saints player makes his way back up to his feet, but the Humber Hawks player is still down here in the 39th minute. So 5 shots for Humber, 3 for the Saints. Only 1 save made in this one. That was just recently by the keeper, Sine. training staff out to check on him. As you see the Saints move over to their bench, trying to get some water and also some instruction from Coach Vanini as they help the player back up. So that was number 9 getting back to his feet, Damian Kay, 5'9" out of Malton. He's a fifth-year player. Both teams taking this time to get some water in them on this hot, humid day. As we're in the last full day of summer here. On a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Not a cloud in the sky from where I'm sitting. High atop the Wii Digital broadcast position here at Acumen Stadium. My name is Dan Dominguez. I'd like to thank you for joining us here all day for OCAA men's and women's soccer here in the West Division. The Saints women came away with a 2-1 win earlier against these same Humber Hawks on a late goal by Sierra Lapos. We're approaching 40 minutes played in this one, and there's still no goals scored. We'll definitely have some added time in this half. The Saints playing tough against these Humber Hawks. Humber and St. Clair always among the top teams. There's a ball in. Oglin's in. Sevy Oglin with the keeper. Can't get it. Gets a big left boot on it, but well wide of the net. A lot of teams across Ontario judge themselves when they play Humber. They're usually one of the high bars in Ontario for almost any sport. So with Steve Vanini's women taking down Humber, even with Humber being 0-4, that's always a good victory when you can take down your rival Humber Hawks. And the same will go here with the men's team. St. Clair's men's almost in a little bit of a rebuilding stage here with interim head coach Steve Vanini and losing a lot of players last season. But able to play them solid here in the first half to a 0-0 draw so far. Has almost got to feel like a success for Vanini and his staff. They've had their chances as well. As you just saw with Oglin having his chance. So a long ball, far side. Silva over there battling. It trickles past the line. It looks like they're going to call a corner. So this will be an opportunity for Humber now in the far corner kick. That looks like number 3, Luca Pinto. He does have a goal this season. He's out of Vaughan. Third-year player. Both teams crowd the box. Saba at the top of the box. Now joining his teammates. Low liner, and Saba boots it away. Off the light standard, scaring away the birds that were hanging out on that light standard. But Humber gets the ball in quickly. Nice move around the far side. Centering ball. Mayu was there. Susko as well. And a good job for them to prevent another corner. At least it's going to be a throw-in on the far side as opposed to another corner. Still dangerous, but not as dangerous as a corner. Oh, they end up calling the corner after all. They say the ball got past the goal line. Susko tried to keep it in, but unable to do so. Him and Davia are in front of his keeper. Nice curving ball headed away by the Saints. And Oglin does a good job to clear. Near side, 1 Saint and 3 Humber Hawks. Slides down near side. That should be a Saints throw-in, and it is. Still a nice tackle by Alvarado. Alvarado, 5'9", out of Toronto. Another fifth-year player. So they got a couple players with some fifth-year experience on this roster. He and Damian Kay. Oglin hits the turf. Oglin gets in the middle of it, and he gets the foul over the much bigger defender. Pleading that he was grabbed by Carmine Fiore, the 6'2", a foot taller than Oglin. But he doesn't win his case, and Humber has the ball. So far side now. Humber has it. We're still 0-0 here in the first half. That's going to be another throw in for Humber. Humber wastes no time getting it back in. Alvarado at the top. Left boot centering, Mayu. Silva shoves the defender, the forward down, and that's going to be a good spot for a free kick now for the Humber Hawks. So the Hawks will have good position here late in the first half. The Saints looking to keep it tied at 0 here as we're nearing the end of the half. Referee lines them up. Saints have a 3-man wall. You can see on the football field here, so they're just a little bit of past 20 yards out on this one. So a good position. Chips it forward, headed nicely away by the Saints. And the pressure, as we've now passed the 45-minute mark, we're in added time here in the first half. Nice footwork from the Hawks player. Just on the edge of the box, looking for lane, looking for a centering ball. That looks like it's going to be a corner now. So we're in added time in the first half. Mateus Lescano, 6-footer out of Toronto, second-year player. Lines up the left boot. Nice corner, headed towards the goal. Saints! Malik gets a hand on it at the last second to keep it from the back of the net. And then with that, we'll end the first half. A massive save from the keeper. Malik keeps this tied 0-0. So we're through a half here at Acumen Stadium, St. Clair College. 0-0. I'm Dan Dominguez. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with you for the second half.
Good evening, sir. Where are you coming from?
I was just at a buddy's watching a game.
Have you consumed any alcohol tonight?
I had a couple beers.
Thanks. Can I ask you to step out of the vehicle, please?
How many drinks does it take to impair your ability to drive safely? Having even just a few casual drinks can impair your driving ability to the point that you could lose your license for at least 3 days or more.
Hi, honey. Can you come pick me up?
Play it safe with alcohol. If you plan on drinking, don't plan on driving.
The first kiss. She's thinking about a million things, like should I lean in or let him? Do I close my eyes or open them? But for him, he's only thinking about one thing. Did she have peanut butter for lunch?
Every child should learn how to swim, for health, for safety, and for fun. That's why we've started Canada's Swim Team. Learn to swim at least 25 meters on your own, and you're on the team. Canada's Swim Team. It's that easy. Help make us the world's largest swim team by adding your name at getswimming.ca. Ask your parents first. Swimming, the only sport that can save your life.
Manpower. That's our specialty. We use it to build infrastructure, like the billion-dollar parkway. That's real manpower in action. End to end, over 1,000 strong, forming bridges, carving out tunnels, shaping roadways. Our manpower is in demand. Well-trained, highly skilled, tough as nails. We've got what it takes to build your career. A solid career for building a better future. LiUNA. Feel the power.
Good evening, sir. Where are you coming from?
I was just at a buddy's watching a game.
Have you consumed any alcohol tonight?
I had a couple beers.
Thanks. Can I ask you to step out of the vehicle, please?
How many drinks does it take to impair your ability to drive safely? Having even just a few casual drinks can impair your driving ability to the point that you could lose your license for at least 3 days or more.
Hi, honey. Can you come pick me up?
Play it safe with alcohol. If you plan on drinking, don't plan on driving.
And we're back here at Acumen Stadium. Second half action getting ready at the campus of St. Clair College. 0-0, the Saints against the Humber Hawks. The St. Clair Saints will be going left to right there on the all-whites. And the Humber Hawks in the all-blue. My name is Dan Dominguez. I, along with the We Digital crew, happy to be here on this hot final day of summer. I'm going to start this second half. A quick apology. Apparently in goaltender, we got some bad information. We had some technical difficulties, so I couldn't quite see the number. Brandon Gaudreau is the goalkeeper today out of Windsor, Ontario. Third-year player at a St. Joseph High School. And he was the one with that tremendous save late in the first half. Not Malik. We gave Malik credit for it, but no, it was Gaudreau. Gaudreau has starting this one at a .333 goals against average. So a late sub right before, or scratch right before game time. Gaudreau ended up in net. So we're back up and running here on We Digital for this second half. Saints have control. First half was controlled mainly by the Hawks. Not a ton of scoring opportunities. Only one save apiece for each keeper. That huge one at the end of the half. A little collision there with Saba. The Saints had that one chance. The keeper was able to get his arms on it. Daniel Sine, and then late in the first half, the huge save where he just kind of stuck out the right paw, and Gaudreau was able to save it. So Saints have it near side, just gets past the boundary line. It'll be a throw-in for the Saints. That's Paulo Davia looking for a place to go with it. Kind of chips it forward. And that ball looks like it's going to sail past the line as well. Davia again. Big collision. The Humber player goes down. They put that ball in quickly. Referee has them regroup. So Humber's going to try it again on the far side. Coming into this one, St. Clair 1-2-1 in OCAA West Division action. And Humber is 2-0-1. They're ranked 4th provincially and 7th nationally. So it's a really tough test for Steve Vanini and his crew in this one as we're tied at 0. Kind of a slow pace again to this second half. Humber slowly bringing their way up, and they finally try something on the far side, but it chips out of bounds, and that'll be a throw-in for the Saints. Nice little step around, and now Oglin's there. Tries to give and go. Oglin wanted it back, but he didn't get it. Saba has it midfield. He safely gets it back to Susko. Susko picked up that yellow back in the first half. And Saba looks to send one in. That's Davia trying to chase it down in the corner. Crossing over Oglin. And the Saints push it back in, but the keeper comes out of the net and secures that one as we're in the 48th minute. Humber has it near side. They haven't been in a hurry bringing the ball up the field. Not a lot of shots in this one, only 10 shots total. Humber coming near side. Finally chips one up. It's got a couple of blue shirts. They're on. Jacob Ball, just a goalkeeper, gets tripped up. Whistle blows. And it looks like we're going to have a penalty kick. A yellow card has been issued. So 2 Humber Hawks came in alone on the keeper. And that looks like Mayu is receiving the yellow. So number 2, Patrick Mayu. So they blew that one dead just before the ball chipped into the net. So no goal, but that ball is going to the spot. And the penalty kick coming up for Humber here in this 0-0 game. So that's number 7. That's Jacob Ball, 5'11" forward out of Kingston. Third-year player. Gaudreau is back on his line. Oh, another yellow card issued, it looks like. That's Paulo Davia now. So the yellows are flying here. Jacob Ball gets the whistle to go ahead. Chips it just over the post and no, can't capitalize on that penalty. He tried to get cute with it and just chip it over the keeper, and he chipped it up over everything. Tonight at 7 o'clock on We Digital, that's worth 3 points, but that's worth nothing right now. They're back in again, and Gaudreau is up to the challenge. That was an offside flag on the last challenge, now in the 51st minute. So Jacob Ball was on the spot for a penalty kick. A couple of yellow cards issued. One by Mayu on the tackle, and one for Davia for just kind of keeping up with the official, complaining too much on that last one. The official had heard enough, so throws up another yellow. So that's 3 yellows for the Saints now. Mayu, Davio, and then Susko back in the first half. And there's that foul that led to that penalty kick. They blew it dead before the ball went in the net. Another turnover from the Saints. The keeper has to come out and scoop that up, so the Saints still a little bit sloppy in their own zone. So the crowd getting into this one a little bit more here in the second half. The yellows are flying. And there's the keeper, Gaudreau. He had that tremendous save back at the end of the first half. And able to keep that PK from hitting the back of the net as well to keep this tied at 0. Players down for Humber. Oh, kind of holding his leg is Luca Pinto. As Silva checks on him to make sure he's okay. Pounding the turf, so he's feeling some pain in that right ankle. Now stretching him out like it might be a cramp, but they're going to have to bring the training staff out for him. That looks more than a cramp. So there's your yellows on the top of the screen. Patrick Mayu, he got one, and then Davia got one shortly after. Susko earned himself a yellow card. He's into the book as well. So the Saints have 3 pretty key players holding yellows right now. And during this injury break, we're going to just take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with OCAA men's soccer.
Good evening, sir. Where are you coming from?
I was just at a buddy's watching a game.
Have you consumed any alcohol tonight?
I had a couple beers.
Thanks. Can I ask you to step out of the vehicle, please?
How many drinks does it take to impair your ability to drive safely? Having even just a few casual drinks can impair your driving ability to the point that you could lose your license for at least 3 days or more.
Hi, honey. Can you come pick me up?
Play it safe with alcohol. If you plan on drinking, don't plan on driving.
We're back here at Acumen Stadium. Hot, humid day, nothing but blue sky here on the campus of St. Clair College here in Windsor, Ontario, the final day of summer. My name is Dan Dominguez. Thanks for joining us here in the We Digital crew. And you can see the umbrellas are up. There's no rain in the forecast. They're just trying to stay cool here. These grandstands have nowhere to hide. The fans trying to create their own shade here. Men's soccer action. Earlier today, we saw the women's St. Clair Saints defeat the Humber Hawks 2-1. Sierra Lapos with a big goal, 5 minutes to go to win that one. And don't forget, on WeDigital.ca, you'll see OFC football action just after 7 o'clock. See the pregame with Dominic Papa shortly before that. There's the yellow by Davia up on your screen. The London Beefeaters will be in town to take on the undefeated St. Clair Saints in OFC football action. You'll see Don Papa about 10-7. You'll see him on the pregame and Justin Prince on the call. I'll step over to a camera for that game tonight. And we're back in play. The Saints have it. Saba, far side. So we'll see if that missed PK energizes these Saints a little bit. Saba goes down far side. He does get the whistle. So that's going to be basically a shorter corner kick that's going to equate to be. And you can see they're scored 0-0. We're in the 55th minute. We'll definitely see some added time. And we're also expecting to see that second half water break as well. And there's Saba you see on the screen. You'll see the ball on his foot quite a bit. Beats a couple of men. Gets a little give and go pass. And just before, a little bit second after that, you saw the foul. And Saba will try and center this ball. See a few of the Saints ladies players walking into the grandstands now. Olivito and that looks like Hudson as well. Victorious in their matchup against the Humber Hawks. There they are there, enjoying this sunshiny day on a Saturday afternoon. So Humber has the ball near side. They go up the middle. They got a little run down the left side. That's Pinto. Pinto left boot. Gets shoved aside. And Oglen comes away with it. Good job by the Saints forward coming back to help. Kind of knocked the forward off balance so he couldn't get a shot off. Mastriani loses control of it, but he steals it right back. That's a good job on right in front of us. Tries to send one. Keeps it onside. He has two defenders around him, but I think he's going to earn the throw-in. That's Silva, and he does. So it's a nice job by Silva. He leads the team in goals this year. He's got 2 from Sao Paulo. That ball gets turned over to the Hawks, and they're going to regroup back in their own end. And they go, hard ball right back to the keeper. Dangerous, dangerous. It almost gets past the keeper, but it's going to be a corner. That was almost disaster from the Hawks. Number 5, LaShawn Facey, put a little bit too much juice on that back pass and blew it past his keeper, but luckily just past the far post. There's a ball in. The Saints try and keep it in. The flag is up. It gets past the goal line. So the Hawks, their first little slip up, a little sloppy there. We haven't seen much of that today. And it almost cost them. That looks like Artico going off on the substitution. Sahil Baharwaj coming in. He's out of Brampton, 6'3" defender in his 4th year. They're far side into the shadow of the scoreboard. Boxed out nicely by the Saints player, but they do call a foul. So the Hawks will have it on the far side in front of their own bench. They put the ball in quickly. Alvarado swings it around. And that's Facey. Almost made that big mistake. Almost put it back past his own keeper. There's a little momentum. That's Thomas Joseph, number 11. He wasn't in the starting lineup. He's 5'10" out of Brampton. Looking for a little energy on the front line for the Hawks. There's a ball chipped away, flying away, holding his knee. And that's a foul called. That looks like Nico Galtieri going down hard. The Saints wanting a yellow card for that one. Referee not reaching for his pocket as of yet. They're going to quickly bring the training staff on. As we take a look at that one again. You see 21 come across and just flipping through the air and landing hard. Looks like that right shin took most of the damage. So a couple of the St. Clair Saints training staff looking him over. And there comes the yellow. They do issue it. Number 11 does earn himself a yellow. That's Thomas Joseph. So we just talked about him, new to the game. Second-year player gets the yellow card here in the 59th minute. So that's the 4th yellow card of this matchup. Galtieri makes his way back to his feet. Looks like he's going to be able to stay into this match.
Yellow card issued to number 11, Thomas Joseph.
So the Saints will have the free kick from their own side. Saints have Silva deep on the far right side, number 10. They chip it straight up the middle, though. One hop to the goalie. The goalie picks it up out of his box. He's out of the box and he scoops it. That's going to be a yellow on the keeper. There it is. So Daniel Sine receives the yellow, and the Saints are going to have a glorious opportunity here. Just outside the penalty box. They're going to have great position for this kick. You'll see the one hopper. You see the yellow line there. He's a good, looks like 2 yards outside of his area where he's allowed to handle that ball. So it could be a costly mistake. We'll see if the St. Clair Saints can capitalize. And you see the referee pacing off where he's asking the defenders to stand. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 men on the wall. And you see the keeper kind of directing traffic of where he wants them lined up. Daniel Sine. Saba, Sevioglin, and Galtieri all kind of surrounding where the ball is. We'll see who ends up taking it. So Sevi's got the right boot. Galtieri the left. Saba steps in with the right. Here comes Oglin, right into the wall, and the Hawks clear away quite easily, no damage. We're just over an hour played now. Another half hour remaining, plus added. That was a tough wall to get around for the Saints. And they're going to regroup all the way back to their own end. And Gaudreau clears a high ball away. There's Joseph. He received a yellow short just a little bit ago for the Humber Hawks. Just along the sidelines. They do say it got past the line. So it looks like it's going to be a throw right in front of us here. And there's Sine with his yellow card as he handled that ball outside of the penalty area. So a couple of yellows for the Humber Hawks and 3 now for the St. Clair Saints. Humber has it at midfield, far side, just in the shadow of the scoreboard, and they go all the way back to the keeper. Pass in front of us to Pinto. Pinto beats his man. He's working one-on-one on the far near sideline. And he goes down. No call. They play on. Didn't look like much of anything there. He just went down. Looking for a call not to be had. Silva to Saba. Saba gets shoved down. No call there. Ball comes away with it. They got to be careful in the box. And that looks like it's going to be a corner. So a corner kick coming now for Humber. Again, they're moving quickly. Thomas Joseph on the ball. Both teams crowd the box. Joseph chips one up, hooking towards the net, headed towards the corner, and it's in the back of the net. The Humber Hawks off the corner kick have taken a 1-0 lead. A beautiful corner from Thomas. And that's number 3, Luca Pinto with the goal. And you can see the header as Pinto gets up there and heads it to the far side, past Gaudreau. A beautiful corner to start the play from Thomas Joseph. And in the 64th minute, Pinto puts it home for a 1-0 lead. So the Saints have flirted for 63 minutes, keeping this game tied at 0. A little discussion with the referees in front of us now. And a header off the corner finally puts Humber in the lead on this one. And there's another yellow card. So that looked like the goal scorer, Pinto, might have, for lack of a better term, might have hot dogged that one a little bit too much. So Pinto, the goal scorer, also receives a yellow for his trouble. Looked like the sideline official had something to do with that one as he watched Pinto came over to the crowd and had a few words to say. So the sideline official must have picked some of that up and issued, with the head referee, issued a yellow. And here comes the head referee again coming to discuss what happened. So that looks like that's how we're going to stand. So Pinto goes into the book with a goal and a yellow. 3 yellows aside for the Saints and the Hawks. 1 goal for Humber. They have 7 shots to St. Clair's 5, both goalies with a save. And there's Seviaglin quickly down the far side. That should be Rahi. Centering ball. Nice centering ball from the Saints. And there's your goal in the 64th minute. That's Luca Pinto giving the Humber Hawks a 1-goal lead. Saba has it, middle of the field. Steps around one man, outside to Silva. Silva, this time they go back. A little bit of miscommunication. Nice little heel pass to Silva. Silva gets around, oh, an elbow! No, looks like a foul called. Silva threw up an elbow. That would have been dangerous because that could have been his 2nd yellow, which would have ended his day. So a decent position here. Saba standing along with Mastriani. Going to look for a crossing ball. Some pushing and shoving in front of the net inside the box. Referee keeping a close eye. 10 players or so inside the box battling for position. And there's another foul. Here we go. And the referees look like he wants to talk to some of these players. And he's bringing 21 towards them. Let's see what happens here. That's Nico Galtieri. Just tell him to settle down. I think the Hawks might oversold that push a little bit, but they got the referee trying to settle this game down. And we're back in play. Crossing ball from Saba, headed away nicely. And the Hawks are able to clear it. A couple of blue shirts near side. They still got a little bit of room. That's Joseph in front of us. And that's pushed away nicely by Paolo Davia. So we're in the 68th minute. It's going to be a throw-in. And there's Pinto throwing it in. He received the yellow after his goal. Hawks try the far side. Gets around one defender. Crossing pass, headed. Still at the edge of the box. The Saints finally come away with it. Gets it up to Saba. Saba can't control. Have a scramble in the middle. Jacob Ball looking for space. Gets the right boot off. Just past the keeper. Wide of the net. And looks like that might be our water break here now in the second half. So this hot, humid day, coaches and referees agreed on a water break. So we're going to step away quickly for a quick timeout during this water break here on We Digital.
Every child should learn how to swim for health, for safety, and for fun. That's why we've started Canada's Swim Team. Learn to swim at least 25 meters on your own, and you're on the team. Canada's Swim Team. It's that easy. Help make us the world's largest swim team by adding your name at getswimming.ca. Ask your parents first. Swimming, the only sport that can save your life.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here at Acumen Stadium on the campus of St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario. Humber Hawks lead this one 1-0. We're in the 69th minute of this one. Back in the 64th minute, we saw the only goal of this matchup. Luca Pinto got one past Brandon Gaudreau for the only goal of the game from a nice corner kick from Thomas Joseph. We're in the middle of a quick water timeout. The hot, humid temperatures here in southwestern Ontario, the coaches and referees agreed on quick water breaks in both the men's and women's games, about halfway through each half. Good for the safety of the players. Players just making their way back onto the field. The St. Clair Saints in the all-whites against the Humber Hawks, wearing all blue today. The St. Clair's women's team, they won their matchup against the Humber Hawks 2-1. Sierra Lapos with a late goal in that one in the 85th minute to win that one. The Saints women's team have now won 4 in a row. This one has the number 4 provincially ranked Humber Hawks leading 1-0. They're also ranked 7th nationally, 2-0-1 against the St. Clair Saints, 1-2-1 so far. So the Saints are going to need a goal to get back into this one. Joseph pushes the ball to the far side, and the Hawks will look to set up shop on the far side. Lascano against 2-3 defenders. He's going to go all the way back. The Hawks to the middle of the field, and they look to calm things down, settle it down. Just over 20 minutes to go in this one. The Hawks have the lead. Nice line drive. Kick in. That's going to be tough to recover, and that goes past the goal line. And that's going to be a goal kick for Brandon Gaudreau. It was a nice attempt from midfield, sending that low liner in there. Just it skips off this turf. This turf is so quick. And the striker was unable to catch up to that one. That ball gets sent right back towards the Saints zone. It's going to be another goal kick. So the Saints put it in quickly on the near side. They have a little bit of space. Joseph comes up to defend. Saba has it. And this time the Saints will look to go far side. The Saints only have 5 shots today. Only one of them actually on net that had to be saved. It was a good chance here back in the first half. Humber has 10 shots, and they got that one across with Pinto. Susko now chips one up. Oglin's there. It gets to Oglin. Oglin has trouble handling it. It just came off his foot. There is a Hawk down, slowly making his way. So another nice crossing pass there from the Saints. Oglin almost had it handled. It just slid off his foot. You can see he just tried to touch it to himself and just a little bit too much. So there is a player down. Looks like could be some cramping issues now for the Hawk player. They're going to call the training staff in as Oglin was getting ready to bring it back in on the yellow. We're going to take another little quick timeout while the training staff takes care of him. We'll be back here on We Digital.
Manpower. That's our specialty. We use it to build infrastructure, like the $1 billion Parkway. That's real manpower in action. End to end, over 1,000 strong, forming bridges, carving out tunnels, shaping roadways. Our manpower is in demand. Well-trained, highly skilled, tough as nails. We've got what it takes to build your career. A solid career for building a better future. LiUNA. Feel the power.
We're back here as the training staff tends to the Humber Hawk player. And there you have it. We talked about it earlier. OFC football here on We Digital Productions. Tonight, right here at Acumen Stadium at St. Clair College at 6:50, we'll come on the air with the pregame with Don Papa. And it's the London Beefeaters coming to town, the rivalry game against the St. Clair Saints, undefeated in the OFC, looking to run the table for another Ontario title. And there's the lone goal of the first half, Luca Pinto. If those Saints can take down the London Beefeaters, they'll have a good chance for an undefeated regular season. And if they do the same in the playoffs, that means a potential national championship berth here hosted at St. Clair College at Acumen Stadium in November. So it looks like we're ready to go here. Sevi Oglin getting ready for the corner. They blow it back into play here in the 73rd minute. Oglin gets it high in the air. Susko's there. Couple of balls, but it's going to get cleared away all the way down the field. Davia has to hustle back. He's got two blue shirts chasing him. And he sends it to Oglin at midfield. Nice little touch by Oglin. They give it right back to him. Oglin going to try and get around the corner. Unable to do so. Humber gets it past midfield. Nice little give and go, but it goes past the boundary line. That's going to be a throw in for St. Clair on the far side. So right in front of the Humber bench, Michael Aquino, the head coach of the Humber Hawks in his 11th year with the team. Going up against Steve Vanini. He's been with the school for 7 years as the women's coach, but this is his first year leading the men's crew, and he's doing that as an interim role. The Hawks come away with it. They're at midfield, and they decide to regroup. That's Facey. Remember earlier, Facey almost pushed a pass past his keeper in this one. Really slow moving this ball up. Galtieri keeping an eye on all three defenders, but right now they're just going back and forth to each other. They have that 1-goal lead with just over a quarter hour to go, plus added time. Humber seems in no hurry to move this ball forward unless they have a good opportunity. Through 3 games, they've only scored 6 goals and gave up 3, so they're a lower scoring team. Just the 1 goal today. A clean sheet against them. Daniel Sine so far with the clean sheet. Oh, player goes down hard. There's a foul called. Reaching for his pocket. That's another yellow. That's number 13 this time, Lescano. That's his first yellow. It is the 4th yellow for the Hawks, but no one has received the second one as of yet. That would lead to being a man short. So a dangerous tackle leading to that yellow, so he goes into the book. Coming into this, they had 10 yellow cards through 3 games, so they're quite familiar with that yellow card. Over 3 a game. And now 14 yellows in 4 games for Humber. 10 shots to 5 for the Hawks. 1 save apiece. Both of them were excellent saves by the keepers, Gaudreau and Sine. Again, the Hawks bringing it slowly, this time right in front of us. Pass up by Joseph. That's intercepted by Mayu. Mayu sends it far side to Oglin. Oglin gets it to the outside. Rahi couldn't get there in time. It's turned right back over. A little bit of room on the far side, looking for a place to cross. Edge of the box. Joseph, man on him. And that ball gets cleared away. Humber looks to put it right back in. Another centering ball, headed away by Mayu. There's the goal scorer, Pinto. Saba, big boot. A couple of Saints looking at each other. Neither one wanted to play it. And finally, the Saints have it, but turn it again right back over. Thomas Joseph has it. So the Saints have kind of lost their momentum here midway through the second half. As Humber slowly brings it towards the goal line. Pinto gets the corner of the box. Mayo comes away with it. Sorry, Galtieri. And he'll send it to the outside to alleviate any pressure. Saba, he felt someone behind him, and he was right to feel that. That looks like Jacob Ball causing trouble for the back line of the Saints. So Silva heads that towards the forward zone. That ball trickles past the line, but that's going to go for a goal kick. So a good hustle by Silva on that one, but unable to corral that ball. And that would be a goal kick. And Sine, the keeper from Tehran, Iran, 6'4", first year with the Humber Hawks. That ball's in to Jacob Ball. Ball's got it on his foot. Just the keeper, and Ball puts it in the back of the net with ease. In the 79th minute, a huge goal by Jacob Ball. His first of the season. So the Saints have been flirting with danger and now trail by 2 here as we start to get late in this matchup here. Jacob Ball got in alone and made no mistake and got it past the keeper, Brandon Gaudreau. So commanding 2-0 lead here for the Hawks. We have substitutions coming on now for the Saints. Looks like 3 different players. I see Saba going off. He's been on the field quite a bit today, and now a 4th coming on. So almost wholesale changes here with just over 10 minutes to go, and the Saints trailing 2-0. And yet another. So 5 substitutions as Steve Vanini clears the bench. Sevi Oglin coming off. It looks like Sesko and Galtieri all coming on. Nice effort to stay with the Hawks for 75-plus minutes. But that second goal might be a nail in the coffin today. So we'll see if we get a spark from the second team here for the Saints. Antonio Vieira, backline defender. He still has Mayu with him. And there's Artico. He didn't start, but we've seen him quite a bit today. Big boot goes off the forward. And that's going to be a throw-in for the Saints. We have another substitution on the far side as they continue to empty the bench. And there's your score, 2-0. We're in the 81st minute. And Jacob Ball looks like his day is done after scoring that second goal for the Humber Hawks. He comes off the field on the near side, and replacement trots on. That ball's thrown right to a Humber player, and he heads it away. They try and send them in. Nice play by Gaudreau to smother that ball. Marcus Riviere was all over that one. If Gaudreau made any mistake, Riviere would have had an easy one. We're in the 82nd minute now. Saints looking for some positives here as we're in the final minutes of this one. And Galtieri stayed on. Sends a long one far side. It looks like Mastriani. Mastriani centers it right back to Galtieri. Nice pass, but unable to corral, and the Hawks will come away. There's Thomas Joseph. He didn't start this match, but we've seen a lot of him on the field today. Pinto now as the Hawks look to slow this one down. They have that 2-0 lead as Alvarado stands with the ball, and Galtieri finally walks his way to make a bit of a challenge. Daniel Sine keeping the clean sheet for the Humber Hawks so far. Ball goes on the far side to Hawks control. They try and send the forward in. Controls it right at the goal line. Keeps it in, but the Saints come away with it. We're in the 83rd minute. And this one goes all the way back to Brandon Gaudreau, the keeper. He's made one big save today, but a little bit too much pressure. The first goal coming off a corner kick from Thomas Joseph, and Pinto brought it home. And the second goal, Jacob Ball was in all alone, and not a whole lot the keeper could do on that one, making it a 2-0 lead. So the Saints have it. That ball gets cleared away, heading towards the grandstand. That'll be a throw-in. And it looks like we have another substitute. So Vieira waiting for the throw. As the sub comes on. That ball gets thrown in. Silva tries to get around. A lot of contact. Thomas Joseph comes away with it. Humber has it midfield. And again, the Humber Hawks slow things down with just over 6 minutes to go in this one. We're going to have a little bit of added time, I would assume. We've had a couple of injuries here in this second half that will give us some added time. The Hawks head to midfield. Firmly in control of this one. The Saints held their own for as long as they could. It wasn't until the 64th minute where the Humber Hawks broke the ice and got that first goal. They've had chances to put them behind the net as well, behind the keeper, but unable to capitalize today. That was going to be a problem all year long for the St. Clair Saints with all the turnover from last year's bronze medal, national bronze medal winning team. They lost a lot of goals in that one. Only Silva returned as a goal scorer from last year's squad. He leads the team again this year with 2. But in now their 5th game of the year, have only been able to score 5 goals. So turnover midfield. Silva to Galtieri. Galtieri tries to step around the defender. Artico to the far side. Tries to send it in. That's Pizzuto. First we've called to him. A lot of contact on that far side. He goes down, and that's going to be a foul on the Humber Hawks as he got dragged down to the turf. So they'll have a nice area for a kick for the St. Clair Saints to try and get on the board. The Hawks do have a player down. That's number 13. That's Lescano. And they're going to wave the training staff in. So don't forget, we have OFC football action here on We Digital Productions. Coming on the air about 6:50 at the pregame show with Dom Papa. Justin Prince will be on the call for that one. The Beefeaters taking on the undefeated St. Clair Saints. The Saints have beat everyone by, I believe, at least 30 points a game this year. And they'll look to keep up that tradition, I'm sure, tonight in front of a packed house here at Acumen Stadium. There's your goal scorers for this one. Luca Pinto, back in the 64th minute. Got the first one, and not too long ago, that was Jacob Ball in the 79th minute, getting in alone on the keeper, putting it in the back of the net for that commanding 2-0 lead over the Saints. So a free kick from the far side, centering ball, headed away by the Hawks, and they're going to clear that one away with ease. A lot of speed on the near side. Ronaldo Hilton on the left foot. They're inside the box. Hilton puts a right boot on it. Scooped up nicely by Gaudreau. That was Damien Kay along with Hilton for the Hawks. As we're coming down to the final few minutes of this one. My name is Dan Dominguez. Thanks for joining us here on We Digital. We saw the St. Clair Saints women's team win 2-1 in match number 1 on a late goal by Sierra Lapos. And a pair of goals here for the Humber Hawks to lead this one 2-0 in OCAA West Division men's soccer action. The Hawks content with this 2-0 lead as they just pass back and forth now in the waning moments of this one. Quite a bit of the bench on the field now for the Saints, trying to gain some extra minutes on this season. Not as deep of a team as they had last year. So some of these guys earning some much needed minutes. A lot of ball control here from Humber in the last couple of minutes. They're going to go all the way back to the keeper, and there it is. There's Sine with the clean sheet. And you see the Saints kind of pushing up now. Seeing if they can get one across, put a little bit of pressure on the Humber Hawks. I guess 2-0, 3-0, it doesn't really matter. So you might as well put some pressure on them, see if you can make something happen. And get some positive thoughts for next week. And looks like we have someone, the goalie is down this time. So they're going to check on the keeper, the training staff is. And we're going to have quite a few minutes of added time, I'm sure, in this one. As the trainer comes in, we're going to take another quick timeout, and we'll be back after this.
Good evening, sir. Where are you coming from?
I was just at a buddy's watching a game.
Have you consumed any alcohol tonight?
I had a couple beers.
Thanks. Can I ask you to step out of the vehicle, please?
How many drinks does it take to impair your ability to drive safely? Having even just a few casual drinks can impair your driving ability to the point that you could lose your license for at least 3 days or more.
Hi, honey. Can you come pick me up?
Play it safe with alcohol. If you plan on drinking, don't plan on driving.
We're back here at Acumen Stadium. As you see the clock there in the final moments. We also have baseball action this week coming up on We Digital. Thursday, September 26th, 5 and 7:30 p.m. over at Lacoste Park in Tecumseh. The Fanshawe Falcons come to town for a midweek battle against the St. Clair Saints. St. Clair Saints, 3 in a row OCAA titles, and another strong team this year, led by Henry Real and among others. Roberto Duncan has his squad at the top of the standings each and every year in Ontario. As we finally get this one back into play, we've passed the 90-minute mark, and we're now in the added time. So we'll keep our eye on the head referee, but I imagine there'll be a few minutes of added time due to the number of injuries in the second half. 12 shots to 5 in favor of the Hawks. 2 saves by the Saints keeper to 1. But Daniel Sine's got the clean sheet. The Hawks player gets taken down, but gets up emphatically as they feel they have this one won. They come down to Windsor, Ontario, and looks like they're going to take 3 points home with them. They go all the way back to the keeper. Sine's been solid back in goal for them. Saints trying to apply a little bit of pressure, but Sine just basically, essentially ices one down the field. Joseph in. Joseph looking for one more on the right boot. Big save by Gaudreau. Thomas Joseph speeding in on the right side. Gets a big right boot on that one. Brandon Gaudreau up to the task. That's going to lead to a corner. They get it in quickly on the corner. Referee blows it dead, though. They're going to make them retake that one. So the Saints trail by 2. They're going to try and keep it at that. We're approaching a couple minutes of added time now. They just tap it into the corner. And that goes past the boundary. That looks like it's going to be a goal kick now for Gaudreau. He's looking to put a big boot on it, so he sends his players upfield. We'll see what he can do with this long ball. Gets it past midfield. Headed away by the Hawks. And the Hawks come away with it far side. That's Damian Kay. That ball trickles past the boundary. That'll be a throw. Bit of a delay. Looks like we might have a substitution on the far side. So Thomas Joseph's day is done. He's going to step off the field on the far side as the sub comes on to try and keep this one moving here on this hot Saturday afternoon. Humber stayed in town overnight last night. That way they didn't have to make the long bus trip early this morning for this tilt with the men and the women. Throw in on the far side. We're now almost 3 minutes of added time. Now it looks like it's going to be in the corner kick for the Humber Hawks. This one, final moment. Take this time. My name is Dan Dominguez. Thanks for joining us here on We Digital. I want to thank the crew, Tim and Stu in the booth, the Flamia boys, Ryan and Alex on camera today, doing a great job here in the hot sun up here in the We Digital broadcast booth on this final day of summer here in Windsor, Ontario. Saints bringing one last run up the field. Long ball sent up, received nicely by Saints, just couldn't control it with Pizzuto. Big collision. 2 players down. The Saints player gets back up. The Humber player is still down. There was a big hit there at the 40. We'll see plenty of those tonight after 7 o'clock when the Beefeaters are in town. As we'll take another look at it. Just at the top of the screen, you'll see the big collision. They just kind of got tangled up. And the Saints have the free kick. They'll go to the middle of the field, taking one last run. Davia sends one towards the line. And the keeper, looking to keep that clean sheet, Daniel Sine, has it. And the Hawks are beginning to celebrate as we're now almost at 4.5 minutes of added time. A big heave near side. Another player goes down for the Hawks. And that's going to be a foul, and the Hawks will have possession. Again, nobody in a hurry to go retrieve that ball, as the Hawks have a 2-goal lead, and the Saints look to be out of gas and over for this one. You'll see the foul here on the replay. Collision right at the sideline as 12 goes down hard. So near side, another run. That's Hilton. And that's the final whistle from our head referee, and that's all she wrote here from Acumen Stadium. Pinto in the 64th and Ball in the 79th. The Humber Hawks win it 2-0. The women for St. Clair win their matchup 2-1. And that's it from here from me from Acumen Stadium. My name's Dan Dominguez. Thank you for joining us. Again, don't forget, 6:50, be back with on WeDigital.ca to catch OFC football action. But until then, have a good night.